Hello, everybody. What's good, niggas? Oh, yeah, and this is What If Deku Was Genji Part 3. Oh, yeah, by the way, I'll be making a what if of, what if Deku had in Curcio. And yeah, it's a popular topic, but none of y'all niggas do it right. None of y'all do anything jack squat right. Like, I understand. Yeah, Lazy Whatever did it. Yeah, you say it turned out good. Nigga, he didn't know half the crap that in Curcio could do. Like, nigga. But anywho, I will be doing a What If Deku Was Noisy Boy too, but Mr. Zachary
killed us.
You, my
and
friend.
He just says, he was only supposed to kill me. You should have lived. You had children to take care of. And she's like, yeah, but it's not like I took care of them.
And Indra.
Dude, I'll do it.
And
like, I was contemplating whether to do it
or
not today, because that was what?
Because that was what was going to come out today.
I might stop some. I might take some.
Dude, that was what was going to come out today. But, Zachary, you've been begging for this. So, yeah. So, where we left off, my boy, cuddling Kirishima, like, and if y'all just coming to watch this video, because, for whatever reason, Kirishima's a girl in this one. But, anywho, so, like, he's the first person to wake up, and, like, he's patting her head and stuff like that. And, like, he hugs her, gets up, like, tries not to step on anybody, and he just walks over to, like, the kitchen part, and he starts cooking. Like, man, cook better than Soma. Hey, Alexa, play Goku Rap Level Up by Daddy Fat Snaps.
Goku Rap Level Up.
Sorry.
Fat Snaps on Amazon
But yeah,
Music.
I need my jams. Hey, Alexa, repeat song.
I'll repeat the song.
Anywho, so, Deku, he go. And, like, Miz cooking better than Soma. And so, like, she wakes up, and, like, she sees him cooking, and, like, she gets up, walks over everybody, hugs his stomach, and she's like, why'd you have to wake up? Let's go back to bed. And he's like, nah, I need to cook for everybody. And she's like, no, you don't. Come back to bed with me. And he says, in a minute. And he's like chuckling to himself. And he's like, I'll just make one group breakfast. And so, like, he straight up make the Luther burger from the Boondocks. And if you ain't watched the Boondocks, fuck out the kitchen. Like, get out my kitchen, nigga. Do it yourself. But anywho, so he just makes a Luther burger for everybody, and like he puts it, he puts the stuff out. I mean, in the oven to let it cook. And has to cook for 2 hours. So, yeah, and so, like, she goes back to bed, and, like, he, like, slaps down on the part where he sleeps at, and he's like, fine. Teleports, lays down, hugs her, and just sets an alarm in his head for 2 hours. And so, he sleeps for 2 hours, and then he wakes up, pulls his thing out the oven, and he's like, that was a close one. And, yeah. Also, by the way, I think I might do a face reveal. Y'all been reaching my goals. You know what? Let's get to 50 subs, and I'll do a face reveal. Yeah, we'll do a face reveal. and if I get somebody to hold my phone and record, then I'll demonstrate my Cronus being my paintball gun. But anywho, so he go and like he wakes everybody up. Like he like creates an alarm in his hand and just like sets it to maximum volume and just ding! And like everybody wakes up. They're like, "Nigga, what? Let us sleep." And you're like, "No, I made breakfast." And everybody's like, "Oh, you made breakfast for all of us." "Thanks. This makes up for the ass beating yesterday." And he's like, "Damn straight." Anywho, everybody like they take 3 bites and they immediately feel like they got diabetes. In the words of Huey, "Nigga, that's death in a burger." But I love the Boondocks, man. I'm gonna do a Boondocks what if. Like, I'm gonna do what if Huey from the Boondocks was Miles Morales. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Either that or I'm gonna make him Goku. Cause Huey my nigga. Like, he got that samurai judo type shit. Like, he ain't like Riley, like, "Nigga, I'm about to cap in your head." Nigga, get out of here with that. But anywho, everybody eat. Like, they feel like, "Hey man, can we go to the doctor? I feel like I got diabetes." He like, "Nope, we gotta go to class, nigga." He like teleports them all to class, and they're like, "Nigga, I need to go to the doctor." And like, meanwhile, Kirishima, she just munching on it. Like, she already ate the whole thing, and she like, "Anybody want me to eat theirs?" And like, he just looks at her and he like, "I love this lady." Like, I'm making this lady my wife. Like, I don't care what anybody say. I'm making her my wife. Like, nigga, you may think I'm crazy, but like, chamber, you got 15 in the clip in the chamber. Each human sources. But yeah. Sorry for the like pause. I work on model kits, so I think I might do a video. I think I'm gonna like set up my videos to where like I have a camera positioned I have my phone positioned in front of me, and like I do the what if from there, and y'all can watch me do the model kit. But I'll be wearing my pink paintball mask, so that nobody see my face really. But anywho, so they just in class like, "Nigga, how can she continue to eat them? Like, I feel like I got diabetes." It's just so fun making these. Like, my cousin earlier, he was like, "Zayden," or forget that I said that name. My name is Goku. Anywho. But he was like, "Hey, Goku, do you, like, write out a script for your videos?" And I'm like, "No, nigga, I make this shit off of my head." And they're like, "Yeah, so you make a script?" And I'd be like, "Nope, I don't. I just think that shit and run with it." Like, you really think I'm about that? Like, no. Only posers do that. But I'm just saying, if you do, you ain't got that much of an imagination, my G. But anywho, I don't hold any disrespect towards y'all. Like, I just think, like, a nigga should be able to create the crap from, like, on the fly. But anywho, so he goes, and like they have another heroes versus villain test. No, this is the internships. So like Mirio, he walks in and he's like, hey, challenge to a fight, blah 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 blah. So and this time it's the whole 3. He just says, I'll take care of this. Like, these niggas ain't jack shit. Like, they think, oh, why are you so cocky? And he's like, nigga, I fought all of y'all. Like, nigga, I was raised in an orphanage. Killed niggas. Got my ass dropped off at birth. I can freaking kill All Might. What you think this is? Like, you really think you something special? Like, I'm show you special. And like his brother, he's just like, oh no, I'll take them. I'm the one with the quirk after all. And he's like, nigga, if you don't sit your bitch ass down, I oughta take that head clean off your motherfucking shoulders. Like, she just give that nigga the death glare. And like Kirishima, she smacks it. She punches his brother right in the gut and she says, don't talk to my man. And like Deku, he's just like, hey. What should her first name be? Kirima. Hey, Kirima, what's your last name? And she's like, Kirishima. And he says, no, wrong. Kirima. Genji. She's like, he says, Kirima Hamada. And she's like, what? And she turned red, like, my nigga, new shade of red. Like, I know that I say, like, new shade of red, like, a lot, but nigga, there's good reason for it, a lot of the time. Like, good reasons. Like, just, you think I'll be playing with it. But anywho, he says to Mirio, because like Mirio's being all cocky and stuff like that, he's like, you might want to back out now because my strength is quite just a lot. And he says, nigga, I'm about to beat you like my meat on December 1st. And like all the boys, like they laughing. By the way, I trademarked that. Ain't nobody can say that. You can say it if you want to say it to your friends, but hey, I'm about to beat the crap out of you like my meat on December 1st is trademarked by me. Like, think I'm playing. But anywho, also, I'm gonna do a what if Deku had a Gundam, and it's basically gonna be what if Deku had Gundam, or what if Deku was Gundam Vidar. And it's gonna be perfect. Like, it's gonna be some real shit. But anywho, so Mirio, he tries to punch him. Deku phases through him. And he's like, huh? How'd you phase through me? Is your quirk permeation as well? He says, no, my quirk is ass beaten. And he just, like, barely unsheathes his sword, sheathes it back. And they're like, huh? What's that gonna do? Just straight up incarceration, this nigga. And then, like, he says, I didn't even have to punch you. That's sad. And they're like, swords are better than hands. And, like, they all say, nope, you don't want to catch his hands. Nigga, I'll punch you to high hell. Like, or would it be high heaven? I don't know. Nigga, send his man straight to friggin' recovery girl. Like, send him to not Peppermint Patty, send that nigga to Nurse Joy. Send that nigga to the Pokemon Center. Get the goddamn EMT. If you get the joke / reference, you a real nigga. But if you don't, out the kitchen. Like, it's simple. Out the kitchen now. But anywho, he just beat Mirio without moving. Explain that. and like Deku, like he just look at the other two, and they both just go unconscious. Like it's simple. And he like wimps. And like the rest of class one day, they're like congratulating him, and so now time for the Overhaul arc. Because Deku, he already beat the crap up out of Stain when he was like in his come up. So there's no Stain. Ida ain't retarded like he normally is. Oh, wait a second. Ida's still retarded. He's Ida.
Let's go to the list.
Let's check. I'm about to my kids, but
Let's dive in that topic. What would happen if I didn't stop it? What would happen if I didn't drop it? Mr. Say I'm sure on the
Anywho.
option. You can shovel like me with the chopsticks. Power leveling up as the clock ticks. Thought you were flying to me. My whip is the Nimbus and I'm in the cockpit. Tell me when did you dive in
So,
your team? I'm battling beats when
here you go.
in the tropics. What if I ain't get rich in the chamber?
I'm like, he walking around one day, and like this little girl, like bumps into his leg, and he's like, huh, what's wrong? And like, she sees like him in this getup, but he has the hoodie on, and she's like, are you a villain? And he says, no, but like he's in the good version of his suit. So like, you know how I said it was that the gray is still gray, and like the hoodie part that's gray is black, and like the muscle fiber parts are red, and like the white is black. Yep, same thing. And like instead of the green, it's purple. Yeah, he's around that, and he's like, no, I'm a hero, I go to UA. And she's like, save me, please, don't let me go back without man. And like, she's young, and he's like, what man? And then like Overhaul, he come out, and he's like, leave the little girl alone and give her back to me. He goes straight up, like, I ain't giving her back to you if you were to pay me 3 billion yen. And like, he just straight up puts Eri on his back, and he says, hold on tight. And she says, but I'll erase you like I did my parents. And he says, it's fine, I've already died once. And he just glare, like, he tilts his head, looks at Overhaul, and Overhaul just like, nigga straight up got sent. Like, throw that nigga in a package, send him hell. Send him to hell. Like, simple. Like, he just got rid and nigga. Like, that easy. And so, like, his dad talks to him, and he like, your dad been doing that bad. Like, I understand that you a badass, but you ain't gotta do him like that. He just goes straight up, nigga, yeah, I did. He do too much. I think I'll make this an hour or two. But anywho, so he go, he start popping off on a nigga. Like, him and his dad, like, they in the head. So like 2 seconds in the real world, 500 billion in there. So like, they just hanging out, and like, they playing chess and like stuff like that. And like, they're having a bunch of fun. And so he's like, alright, I gotta go take care of my daughter. And he's like, daughter? So I'm a father now? And he's like, might as well be. And like, Kirishima, what's she doing right now? She's still reeling from the fact that he basically proposed to her. Like, she's like, oh my god, he's my husband now. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? And like, Mina, she walks up to her, and she's like, you know, he'll love you always. You don't have to be worried. And she says, I know, but what if I'm not good enough for him? And like, Deku, he teleports, and like, he hears this part, and like, he like puts Ari down and he says, "Hold on a second. Go into that room right quick." Puts her in the room that everybody stays in now. And they're all like, "Huh? Who are you?" And she's like scared. And so like Deku, he like puts her in like a genjutsu. And so like he walks over to Kirishima, hugs her, and just says, "Idiot. I love you no matter what. Why would I ever leave you? I love you too much." And like she's like, "But I'm different from everybody else." And he's like, "That's why I love you, because you're different." And like she's crying at this. And like Mina, she's recording like all of this. And like he kisses her on the forehead. And he's like, "Alright, we now have a daughter." And they're like, "What? Y'all two been fucking?" He like, no, adoptive. And they're like, "Adoptive? Nigga, you adopted a child?" They're like, "Yeah, a villain was basically using this girl to make quirk enhancement drugs. So I saved her. And I took a couple of those drugs. Because why not?" And they said, "Did they work?" He says, "Yup." And he basically like explains to everybody that like she might be like shy or a little scared at first, but once you get to know her, you'll enjoy her company. And so like they all get used to Ari, and she gets used to them, and like she's and like one day when Deku's making breakfast, she says, "Good morning, Daddy." And like Deku, like he stops everything and he just falls backwards, like unconscious, like, and like he lands on Kirishima, and she's like, "Huh? What happened?" And like she just sees this man like she's like, "No, Genji, did you Genji?" And he's like, "What? Yeah, what? I saw heaven for a minute." I could have died a happy man 5 seconds ago. Like, I was okay with dying at that point. And Ariel's like, "No, Daddy, what's wrong?" And like he hears Daddy again, and he's just like, I'm like, she's like, "Mommy, what happened to Daddy?" And like Kirishima, she just like straight up croaks. Like she's like, "No, Mommy, Daddy, don't leave me." And like Deku, like he just straight up comes back to life, and he's like, "Sorry, I just..." Wipes a tear from his eyes, and she's like, "Why are you crying, Daddy?" And he says, "It was different being called Dad. It's a beautiful thing." But yeah, so Deku, he go and he start just like training Ari on how to use her quirk and stuff. And like since he has the immortality from All for One's quirk, because yeah, he has All for One. If y'all haven't watched part 1, go do that. By the way, I'm sorry y'all that like Deku. What if Deku was Miles Morales? I've been trying to upload a part 3, but it has not been working, so I'm very, very sorry. But yeah. And so Deku, he goes, and like she has perfect mastery over her quirk at this point. And so Deku, like, he's like, "There you go. Now you have perfect control over your quirk." She's like, "Huh? I do?" And he says, "Yeah, you do." And she's like, "I'm so happy," and like she's jumping up and down and stuff like that. And like Deku, he's just happy because his daughter basically got full mastery over her quirk. And he's just really happy.
I've been grinding daily about my training.
But yeah.
Think you can take me while I don't play BK. Level up and face me, cause you don't phase me. You messing with the deity. Look what they made. I level up. When these villains run amok. I level up. Your monologuing isn't tough. I level up. Bro, don't make me call you bluff. When the world is in the balance, better bet I level up. I'm on a level you didn't know. Messing with you catch a killer blow. Don't need a gun, but I still put a run to his body. Not like you can beat the low.
Sorry. But, so, anyhow, he goes, and he's like, alright, I gotta go. And she's like, alright, daddy. She gives him a kiss on the cheek, and he's like, I love my daughter. I absolutely do. If anybody were to hurt her or do anything, I would kill them and everybody else in the room, and then myself. Like, it's that simple. He loves his daughter. Like, and so, like, they go to, like, the training camp or whatever. And, like, Deku, or no. So his brother, he basically, like, pulls him aside and he says, I'm stronger, and I need to prove that to father. So, let's fight. And he says, alright, nigga, your funeral. Like, you better not call me a villain. I'm about to beat the crap about you. And he says, yeah, you and that whore of a girlfriend. Or should I call her your wife? And he's like, run that back. And he says, yeah, you and that whore of a wife. I'll beat you both. And he says, I must be crazy. Say it just one more time. And he says it one more time. Deku grabs him by the face, runs him like across the wall, Broly style, and then he just straight up unsheaths his sword, cuts the man's head off, scorpion chains through it down, and just start just rushing, just and like Deku, like he pulls back one fist and like Aries like, Daddy, don't stop, you're gonna kill him. And he says, ugh. And like he like just punches it and it connects and like boom, just crater in the ground. And like she rewinds him, like his brother, back to when he was alive, and he's like, I'm alive again. You demon, you killed me. And he says, yeah, now you ever call my wife a damn whore ever again in your life, and I'll kill you for sure. And she says, wait, he said, what about mommy? And he says, he called her a whore. And she just, like, speeds up his time, just straight up, you will live as an old man. And he's like, no, I'll kill the nigga when time comes. And she's like, alright. And she just puts the dude back at his age. He's like, those two are scary. Cause he a whiny bitch. But anywho, so, training camp. So, Deku, Ego, and like, they're in the bus and stuff. And like, Kirishima, like, she falls asleep. Or, no, Deku, he falls asleep on her lap. And Aries like, Mommy, why is Daddy sleeping? And she says, 'cause Daddy's tired. He's been doing a lot recently. And she's like, oh. I think I'll make something for Daddy. Maybe it'll relieve him of some stress. And she just says, That'd be a good idea, Eri. I'll help you. And so, Deku, here you go.
I'm on a level you didn't know. Recipe, you catch a killer blow. Don't need a gun, but I still put a round to his body. Not talking can pick the low. Haters like Reddit, they calling me brother, but hit me up late. We ain't heard of each other. They ain't from this planet, they came from another, but it don't matter.
So, Deku, here you go. And like he wakes up on the bus stop and he's like, what? And like, and as I was like, okay, son, get off the bus. And like he's the last person to get off the bus. And so like they like try to launch everybody. Deku, he straight up makes a force field, pulls everybody back up, and he's like, nah, y'all niggas staying with me. And they're like, this kid got telekinesis, Isaiah? And he's like, nope. He has a lot of quirks. And like, he like pulls Mandalay over, and he says, that kid, even though on the records he's stated to be All Might's son, he's All For One's son. All For One is his dad. He only trusted me with this information because he says that I'm like a dad to him. And they're like, oh, wait a minute, All For One? And he's like, yeah, everybody calls him a villain just because of what happened to him at birth. He died at birth, and he got imprisoned in that robotic body. And like, they're like, and why doesn't he live with All Might and Inko? And he says, Inko tortured him, and All Might helped. He hates them both. His father, All For One, gave him his quirk and embedded his consciousness into him. All they do is talk and play around, and All For One, he can bring him back at any given time. He just won't have a quirk. And he feels that he should bring his father back because his father did all those bad things because of what All Might did to him. He tried to be a good person for once. He tried to save a little girl, and All Might killed the little girl. And she was like, bullshit. He says, no, it's true. Have you looked at the Shiganshina fight? And she says, no, not recently. And he's like, look over the footage again. And like, she looks at it on her phone, and she's like, oh my god, All Might did kill a little girl. And like, Deku was his way of fixing things and being his way to fix society. And she's like, that kid will grow up to be something greater than all of us. I can tell. And he says, damn straight. Like, you're right. But anyway, so here you go. He start popping off on niggas. Like, he pop off on all of them. Like, he's just demolish. Like, he just beating the crap out of people. Didn't know. Miss me, you could kill a blow. But yeah. So he goes. And like, so they're in the sauna place type thing. So Deku, like, he's just chilling. And like, even though he's a robot, he does enjoy like human things. And like it's just base Genji, what normal Genji look like. And so sorry, I just had to make sure that I was still recording. But so Deku, he go. But yeah, he's just chilling next to Todoroki. And like Mineta, he start climbing a wall, and like Deku, like he just and like Mineta reaches the top, and he's like, woohoo, Kirishima. And like Deku, like he teleports up there, and he's like, nigga, like he straight up grabs him, drives him down, like down. I'm gonna have to check that out. But yeah, so Deku, like he just straight up, like he's straight up grilling this man, like like he made this man sign the waiver to go to hell, and just ended his sentence, like he ended the man. But anywho, he go and he start popping off, like nigga know how to pop, like, and by pop off I mean like let all of his anger consume him. And like he just deals like one last punch, and then like he realizes, crap, I'm in the girls area. And like Kirishima, she's like, Genji. He's like, don't worry, I won't look at any other girl besides you. And then like he leaps up and like does a backflip down, and he's like, alright, okay, we're good. And they're like, nigga, what you do to Mineta? Like, he says, I beat his ass, plain and simple. And they're like, nigga, why you always gotta be so kosher? Like, explain. Like, beating the crap out of people is just kosher for you now. Like, explain. He says, I like beating the crap out of niggas, especially if they gonna try to get a peek at my girlfriend. I'm gonna be dead. Like, you don't play when it comes to Kirishima. Like, if a nigga disrespect her or talk shit about her in any way, he finna beat their ass. Like, it's that simple. Like, if you had a girlfriend, would you want somebody to talk smack about them? I think not. You'd beat the crap out of them. But yeah, so he just like beating the crap out of niggas that try to disrespect his girlfriend. And they're like, alright, decent. And so Todoroki, he says, hey, can I make this an ice bath? And he like, yup. He makes straight up ice cubes, throws them all into the water, and he like, yes, feels great. Or no, he turns the entire like pool thing into ice, and like Deku, he dice it up a little, and like he adds a little hot water. And they're like, oh my god, this feels beautiful. He's like, yup. But anywho, so he goes and like he's looking at like his phone, and like his dad chimed in and he says, son, you picked a good girl. And he's like, Dad, you better not be looking at my girlfriend. And he's like, dude, I can see through your eyes 24/7. He's like, damn, so you can see me having sex? And he's like, yup. He's like, wow, you have free Pornhub? He's like, yup, and I ain't gonna get caught. And like they both start laughing. And so Deku, he playing Smash Bros with Kirishima, like Super Smash Bros Ultimate, nigga. Like he hammering that shit in like it's a jackhammer. But anywho, If you get what Super Smash Bros. I mean, yes. And if you don't, nigga, you a saint in this time. Like, you a true saint. But yeah. So Deku, he go. He start beating the crap out of people. Like dummies in his head. But yeah. And she's like, I love you. And he says, I love you too. And like, they go to bed and stuff. And like, Deku, he wake up, makes breakfast for everybody, and he like, here. And so, like, other villains, they attack. So like other villains, because remember I said he defeated 25% of the villains. So the League of Villains is still left, so they attack. Because like they're trying to get him on their side, because Shigaraki know that Deku is all for one's biological son. And he's like, join us, cousin. And he says, nah, nigga, I'm good. I got a wife, I got a kid, I'm good. And you're like, alright. And so, like, they dip. That was the only thing they came here for. Like,
let's go to the list. Check.
and then, like, Deku's brother, Izuma, he's like, why did they want to take you and not me? I'm the better one of us. And he says, nigga, let's fight. I'm tired of you. I'm tired of your bitch ass. And he says, yeah, I'm tired of you too. And Deku, like, he pop his neck. Hopefully y'all heard that, because I popped my neck for the sound effects. There y'all go. And so, he goes, and he's like, why? Why are you deemed as superior? And he's like, because you're a little bitch. He says, how am I a bitch? He gave me the quirk. He gave me the power. They gave me all of their strength. How are you still stronger? And he says, because demons, monsters, all those words apply to me. If you were to sum me up in words, devil, monster, evil, villain, they'd all describe me perfectly. And then, like, he punches him straight up into the air. Nigga gives him that Gogeta treatment. Like, yeah. Also, watch that series. Like, that series is, like, underrated by my viewers. By a lot of people. But yeah, watch it. Check out my videos, man. Oh yeah, join the Discord. Like, I'll put in the link below. First link below. That's the only link below. But anyway, yeah, just join me on the Discord, fam. Like, come on. But anyway, and so like All Might, like, he punches him, and like Deku, it doesn't even face him. And then like he grabs him by the throat, slams him down, and just spin house kicks that nigga. And then like Inko, she comes out and she's like, we're here to kill you. Our son deserves to be the #1 hero, not you. And Deku, he laughs and he says, Demon King's accomplice. And he says, and they're all like, what? And then like he basically like turns into this form, but like minus, like, you see how like the top of the head is, and minus the wings. And so like the top, it basically is like Genji's head piece thing. But anywho, so he just walks up. Or no, he just says Susano. Make Susano. Smack that bitch with a Tosca blade. And then he just straight up yells, Ka-me? Nope. Big Bang. Just straight up destroys them all. But yeah. And then like All Might, like he's still standing, like, but barely. And so Deku says, you know, you killed the little girl that my father was trying to save. And he says, your father. But I'm your son. But I'm your father, kid. And he says, no, not my biological father. All for one was, maybe you should check out who your wife fucked. And he says, what? There's no way that she fucked that evil man. And he says, well, how do you explain me having multiple quirks? How do you explain me being evil? How do you explain all of it? And he says, you were just born evil. And he says, yeah, but if you're born evil, you have to be the spawn of something evil. And like, it clicks in his head. She said she was with somebody named Hisashi Midoriya. All for One said that his first name was Sasashi. Crap, he did! But yeah. And Deku, he find it funny that this man didn't know that his wife was a slut. And so, he walks. And he just leaves him to his thoughts. And like, he revives his brother and his mother. And he says, bye, you punk ass motherfuckers. And just straight up dip. And they're like, that nigga really be dripping with a sauce, don't he? And like, he says, yep, you do. And like, this is Shota and Kaminari. And so, yeah. But this is where I will leave it off. Have fun, my niggas. Like, it's been real.